Stage 2 or payload deployment views at the request of our customer. But their shooters will have taken over the launch countdown.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
And there's that call out for Falcon 9 startup. Coming up in just a few moments, the launch director, or LD, will give the final go for launch.
LD is go for launch.
And there's that final go from the launch director. So with that, let's sit back and watch as Falcon takes the NROL-153 mission to space.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go NROL-153.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
At T plus 30 seconds and counting, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Slick 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Now coming up shortly, the vehicle will be passing through max Q, which is the point in the mission profile where the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of aerodynamic pressure.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
Now, it doesn't look like we're going to catch it in the view today, but as many of you know, there are multiple wildfires currently burning around the Southern California area. Our thoughts go out to those affected. Good call out there for Max Q. Our thoughts go out to those affected by the fires, and we here at SpaceX want to give a huge thank you to the firefighters working to put them out, as well as the other emergency crews and volunteers.
Telemetry nominal.
As well as the emergency crews and volunteers working to keep everyone safe. And we heard that good call out there for Max Q, which again is when the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of aerodynamic stress. Now coming up next, we'll have 3 events happening in quick succession, starting with...
chill.
Good call out there. We'll have 3 events happening in quick succession, starting with MECO, followed by Stage SEP and SES-1. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 Merlin 1D engines shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, which is where the first stage separates from the second stage. Followed by this, the MVAC engine on the second stage will light, which is called out as Second Engine Start 1 or SES-1. Now this engine burn lasting several minutes will propel the second stage and the payload to orbit. And in addition to these 3 major events, the fairing halves will separate about 30 seconds after SES-1, so keep an eye out for all of these events coming up starting in about 10 seconds from now. And as a reminder, we will not have any views of Falcon 9 second stage or the payload at the request of our customer.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
And good series of back-to-back callouts there, which again were MECO, followed by stage separation, and then SES-1. Now coming up shortly, we should hear a call out for fairing separation, but as a reminder, we will not be showing it on screen. Both payload fairing halves supporting tonight's mission are flight proven, with one half flying for its 16th time and the other half flying for its 9th time.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there was that call out for successful fairing separation. We'll be attempting to retrieve these fairing halves again today once they fall back to Earth with our recovery vessel, Lawrence C. We're currently at the T plus 3.5 minutes mark into today's mission. Now, the next major milestone coming up in just under 3 minutes from now will be the entry burn of the Falcon 9 booster as it continues on its journey towards our drone ship called Of Course I Still Love You, currently stationed in the Pacific Ocean. Now, to start the entry burn, we'll be relighting 3 of the M1D engines, which is similar to pumping the brakes to slow down the vehicle as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere. We need to slow down the vehicle to reduce re-entry forces, which then
Vehicles are on a nominal trajectory.
Good call out there, which then helps us recover and reuse the first stage. Now, during the entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines, but it's still moving incredibly fast, and this causes the vehicle to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases, also known as the rocket's plume, which deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle's surface. That soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses, and with each flight, the soot builds up a little more on the outside of the vehicle. Now, to give you an idea of how fast the rocket is traveling, keep an eye on the booster's telemetry at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, which displays the current speed and altitude of the rocket. Now, reusability is key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, which enables more investments in critical space infrastructure. The Falcon 9 first stage that is supporting today's mission is performing an entry burn for its 22nd time tonight. This booster previously launched several NROL missions, as well as SARA-1, the Surface Water and Ocean Topography, or SWOT satellite, Transporters 8 and 9, Bandwagon 2, and 13 Starlink missions. The payload fairing halves supporting tonight's mission are also flight proven, with one half flying for its 16th time, and the other half flying for its 9th time. Now, we should be hearing that call out for the entry burn in just under a minute from now. As a reminder, we are only showing views of our Falcon 9 first stage at the request of our customer. We should hear that call out for the Falcon 9 first stage entry burn in just about 5 seconds from now.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there's that call out for the Falcon 9 entry burn startup. This burn is set to last about 20 seconds and again is slowing down the vehicle in preparation for its final burn and landing.
Entry burn shut down.
And there you heard the call out for the completion of the Falcon 9 first stage's entry burn. Now, coming up next will be the first stage landing burn, which will start about a minute from now. Now, the Merlin engines on the Falcon 9 first stage are optimized for sea level, and these achieve 190,000 pounds of thrust each during ascent and descent. At liftoff,
Stage 1 FTS is safe.
good call out. At liftoff, Falcon 9's first stage has thrust greater than 5 747 airplanes at full power. Now, the MVAC engine, which is located on the second stage, which we are not showing views of, possesses a much wider nozzle and is optimized to 220,500 pounds of thrust in vacuum. Coming up next in about 30 seconds, we'll have the landing burn of the Falcon 9 first stage. Now, the landing burn is the final burn of the Falcon 9 booster, and it's used to reduce the remaining
Stage
speed.
1 transonic.
Good call out there.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
That landing burn is the final burn of the Falcon 9 booster used to reduce the remaining speed of the vehicle in order to allow for a soft touchdown on our drone ship.
Stage 2
1 landing
terminal
burn.
guidance.
And there was that call out for the start of the Falcon 9 first stage landing burn.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you have it, successful landing of our Falcon 9 booster on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, in the Pacific Ocean. As a reminder, this was the 22nd launch and landing for this first stage. Now, as a reminder, we will not be showing any Stage 2 or deployment views at the request of our customer. So with that landing of the Falcon 9 booster, we'll be bringing today's webcast to a close. Good call out there. But before we go, we have some additional updates for those impacted by the fires in Southern California. For